And for the life of me, I'm trying to understand why a people who grows $2 trillion every year. 2 trillion is what Black America is worth collectively. But you hardly have an independent Black school. Not an independent Black bank, a real one. Independent Black hospital. Independent Black supermarket. Independent Black distribution network. Independent Black manufacturing sector. One of the biggest consequences of slavery is it made Black people comfortable having no control over your destiny. You're the only group in America who are at peace owning nothing. You're the only group in America who are totally content with no control over your direction. So when Chinese get to Maryland, first thing they do is look for where we want to build our first Chinese community. When the European Jews get to Maryland, when the Arabs get here, when the Native Americans, the Latinos, the East Indians, the minute they get to Maryland, first thing they're looking for, where we going to put our community? Where we going to open our supermarket, our clinic, our bank? You've been here 50 times longer than them, and yet they got more institutions than you. That cannot be totally explained by racism. It is the lazy, apathetic Negro syndrome that Willie Lynch that has us focusing on what we own as opposed to what we control. Brothers and sisters, you've been watching the writing on the wall. Joe Biden has been unequivocally clear on his position regarding Negroes. When he first got elected, the first bill he signed was a transgender rights law. Don't get me wrong. I might not agree with the lifestyle, but everybody got a right to be safe from danger. No problem with that. And then he signs an anti-Asian hate bill. Yep. I can understand. Some Asian women was murdered in Atlanta. It was wrong. I don't have a problem with the bill. But I'm trying to understand how you took care of Asians before you took care of the people who built the country. I'm trying to understand how you took care of transgenders before you took care of the people who built the United States. But one of the reasons they were able to do that is because 99% of you Negroes right here today are still on the Democratic Party plantation. And you can't wait to get back on the plantation on election day in November. Let's just be honest. Black people have been voting Democrat for 89 years consecutive, and you got nothing from it. The reason the Democrats will never take us seriously is because when you buy something before you receive the product. If you walk into a store and give them your money before you get your bread, if you give them your money before you get your meat, if you give them your money before you get your materials, why would they bother giving you the materials? Because after all, you already paid for something you didn't even get yet. Black America is expert in pledging loyalty to institutions who have no history of reciprocating that loyalty. And I'm not telling you to go over to the Republicans. Donald Trump signed more death warrant executions than any president in the history of the United States since the end of slavery. So I'm not saying flip-flop. This is not no Candace Owens message up here. I'm saying get off the Republican Party plantation and get off the Democratic Party plantation. Build your own damn plantation. That's what I'm saying. Guess what?
Or don't vote.
Who has the most to lose by the organized Black community? It's not even white folks. You know who has the most to lose from an organized Black community? The Black bourgeoisie. The Negro aristocracy. I don't have to live in Maryland, but I know wherever there's Black folks in abundant numbers, the white power structure controls us through the Coon Illuminati. Not every church, but most of them. Not every politician, but most of them. Not every Black scholar, but most of them. Not every billionaire and businessman and woman, but most of them. And they use these Negroes to brainwash you into thinking things are getting better when they're actually getting worse. And that's why I don't vote for Black candidates anymore if they're not independent candidates. I refuse to vote for another Negro who has already pledged loyalty to a white racist institution known as a political party. Because if you're not an independent candidate, you don't have an independent mind, you don't have an independent agenda, you don't have an independent bank account, and you have no independence of action. What good are you? Look at the Congressional Black Caucus down in D.C. Just look at them. Are you aware that more than half of them are over the age of 65? No disrespect to our elders. And I'm not saying elders can't fight, but I also understand some about psychological development. It is my background. And I know that once you get beyond the age of 70, you're more interested in relaxing than revolution. And as a result of that, we need young, fresh energy in the congressional platforms. I'm trying to understand why everybody else is being taken care of but us. And the biggest reason everybody's being taken care of on Capitol Hill instead of black folks is because they have strong, uncompromising lobby interests on Capitol Hill. We don't have that. We got an elderly gang masquerading as a political movement. Get them out and put young, fresh energy. But you got to screen the young, fresh energy. Because a lot of our young people have been corrupted by multiculturalism. A lot of our young people have been corrupted by colorblindism. A lot of our young people have been brainwashed into fighting everybody else's fight except their own.
Yep.